December 29th, 9:43 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 5. Good morning, Max. Max? Milk. What? If I don't have a glass of milk before I go on stage, I just can't function, sweetie. Stage? Yo, give me 1 second. I forgot to close my office door. Stage? Don't worry, there won't be a stage. All you have to do is sit down. I guess. Nick, Max is really nervous. That's understandable. Hey, my sweeties. What? You don't think I should fly, do you? Huh? You know, you've got to make a good first impression. When I enter the room, maybe I should fly in and warm up the crowd a little. No. We can't be having you flying around the courtroom. Just wouldn't be right. Imagine if you hit someone. Don't worry, Max. Just do what Nick says and everything will be okay. Oh, sweetie. What is it this time, Max? Why don't you try flying into the courtroom? I can see it now. The dashing young lawyer flying fabulously in from above. One glimpse of that and everyone in the room will be on your side. Max, really, no one needs to fly today. Nick? What's with that look in your eyes? I like the sound of that. Dashing young lawyer, flying fabulous. Oh, well. 10 a.m. on the dot, boys. Prompt court. Ooh, I need to get my voice ready for the judge and Von Karma. Give me a second, Von Karma. I gotta get the voices ready. All right.
This is my second preset. We need to change it to something that's not scary demon. And more judge-like.
And more judge-like. This would be a good judge voice again. All right. Judge voice. It sounds a little robotic. And then Von Karma voice.
Need to work on. I don't know why that sound effect is so much higher in volume.
Oh, I already have my accent prepared for Von Karma. I'm gonna do the same one I did last time. Your Honor, get on with it. Your Honor, get on with it.
Your Honor, get on with it. Your Honor, get on with it. That good? I don't know. Oh, that's good enough. It's good enough. I'll take it. Okay. Your Honor, get on with it.
Oh, sorry. I just realized that the defendant's name is Billy Bob Johns. So, well, isn't the defendant also known as Maximilian Galactica? Yes, Your Honor. He does go by that name. You know, my grandchild is a huge fan of his. I think everyone here wouldn't mind if we called the defendant Maximilian Galactica. It sounds more friendly. I wonder if that's to our advantage? Miss Von Karma, your opening statement, if you please.
I hope you didn't bother thinking you win this one, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Huh? That spirit channeling trial was a sham. I refuse to acknowledge its legitimacy. It did not count. Do you hear me?
She must still be upset about what happened last time.
You have no chance. Zero, zilch, nada. I am not losing this case. Why, you ask? Because this is not nature of the Von Karma to lose at anything.
I guess being born with the name Von Karma is a free pass to be arrogant and annoying.
Watch and learn, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'll show you the textbook procedure for prove absolute guilty you are.
Me? Guilty? What are you talking about?
It will be my ultimate revenge.
Her dad is gone, you know.
The prosecution is finished. Let's hurry and wrap up this waste of time.
You may call your first witness, Miss Von Karma.
Detective Dick Gumshoe, get up there now. Sorry to keep you from work, Detective, as I'm sure you need every penny you earn.
Don't mention it. It's no trouble at all. I've been looking forward to this.
Very well. I would like you to begin by shedding light on the events in question.
At your service, sir.
All right, Detective. You may proceed with your testimony.
Details of the events. The night of the crime. Snow was falling until 9:40, making it extremely cold out. All of the circus performers gathered in the big top to practice their routines. The practice session broke up around 10 p.m. The murder itself took place in the plaza in front of the lodging house at about 10:15 p.m. The victim was found bent over a wooden box, dead as a doornail. The cause of death was a blunt force trauma that snapped a vertebrae in his neck. Huh.
I see. He was beaten to death.
Here's the autopsy report for the victim.
The court accepts this into evidence.
Sick. I need to check that out.
A blunt object. Very well. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor. Alright. I need to take a look at my evidence real quick. So let's reconsider everything we have. So Russell's autopsy report. Time of death 10:15, caused blunt force trauma to the back of the head, ended up snapping or breaking one of his vertebrae. The ring retrieved from Acro's room, and it had from T to R engraved on it. It's a cheap ring with an eerie sparkle. Okay, it looks fancy, but it's cheap. Money the Monkey, who takes care of Acro, habitually gathers all sorts of shiny objects. Circus map, yeah, we don't need to recheck it. The broken bottle we found in the cafeteria that the magician Maximilian used to hit the ventriloquist Ben over the head. Max's promo poster with his 3 symbols on it. Ringmaster's papers, the negotiations with Max, salary negotiations saying he got an enormous raise 1 week ago, and then his hat, which is for some reason in our evidence, which I don't know how to use in any way at this point, along with the photo of the scene of the crime that we have that shows only the victim's footprints but not a murderer's, which is interesting. And that's it. All right, so let's get pressing. The night of the crime, snow was falling until 9:40, making it extremely cold out. Let me ask you about the snow. It was nearly a blizzard up until the time of the crime. Did it pile up? It wasn't such a big deal. Maybe about an inch and a half off the ground. The snow froze in place and stayed on the ground until the next day. The snow, let me see. There's got to be more to this. Huh? What's the matter, Nick? I need to take a look at the court record.
Mr. Gumshoe, what were the members of the circus doing on the night of the crime?
I don't know how the snow takes... I mean, the picture, there's footprints snow, but... All of the circus performers gathered in the big top to practice their routines. Let's press. When you say all of the circus performers, who do you mean? Everyone but the dancers and the staff were there. Regina, the animal tamer, Mo the clown, Ben the ventriloquist, and of course, the defendant, Maximilian Galactica, and his victim, the ringmaster. Oh, and I almost forgot, Regent the Tiger was there as well. Out of curiosity, what about the circus monkey? When I was investigating yesterday, he happened to snatch my wristwatch.
Detective, you are welcome to file a police report after these proceedings.
The watch in the pile was his. That's awesome. The practice session broke up at around 10 p.m. After the practice was over, where did everyone head off to? Well, Regina was playing with Regent, while Mo went back to his room tired from work. Ben the ventriloquist went to the front gate, absorbed in his own world. The ringmaster and Max went off to the ringmaster's room to talk privately.
Talk privately, huh? That's awful suspicious. You wouldn't happen to know what they were talking about, would you?
Seems as though they was negotiating Max's salary. Actually, Max was asking for Regina's hand in marriage. The murder itself took place in the plaza in front of the lodging house at about 10:15 p.m. I'd like you to be a bit more specific about the events at 10:15. Okay, not a problem, pal. We got a witness that told us how the whole thing went down.
This totally meaningless. It's time to move on.
All right. We'll just have to revisit that testimony later. Detective Gumshoe, would you mind telling us how the victim met his end?
The victim was found bent over a wooden box, dead as a doornail. Need to know more about that box. A wooden box? That's right. The victim must have been carrying the wooden box when he was killed.
Carrying the box, huh?
It was a rather strange wooden box, Your Honor.
What do you mean?
Well, it was much heavier than it looked. Not to mention it was locked.
Locked, you say?
There we go. Now it's in the court record. This may be my only chance, so I might as well ask some questions. The wooden box. It was locked by a small key, about 20 pounds. I want to know what was in the box. Do you mind telling us what was inside the box? Well, when we found the box, it was locked tighter than Fort Knox. So we took it back to the station and cracked it open. All that was inside was this little bottle.
Bottle? What is that, detective?
Exactly what it looks like, Your Honor. It's a condiment bottle. What's inside the bottle? It's filled with pepper.
Pepper? Why in the world was it locked in that big box?
There was only one little bottle in that huge box? I wonder if this has some sort of special meaning. This is weird. Yeah, small seasoning bottle added to the court record. Okay. The cause of death was blunt force trauma that snapped a vertebrae in his neck. Hold on, I want to take one quick look at this. Useless. According to the autopsy report, the murder weapon was a blunt object, correct? You done your homework, pal. And you haven't found this murder weapon, have you?
The police are searching for it as we speak.
My theory is that the perpetrator, or that it is something the perpetrator ran off with.
You would think so, especially since you didn't find it on the scene.
No. I bet he made it disappear with magic.
Well, I think we have a good feel for the details of the event now.
Guess that's all we're gonna get out of Gumshoe in this case. You mean all we're gonna get out of him is that little bottle of pepper?
Now that we have wrapped up with the detective, I would like to call next witness.
Huh? I'm not even off the stand yet.
Obviously, but that's due to you being slow and unable to take hints.
I don't know, but wrapped up has such a mean sound to it. I'm a sensitive guy.
Thank you very much, Detective Gumshoe. You may step down. Miss Von Karma, call your next witness.
I would like to call Mr. Benjamin Woodman to the stand.
She must be talking about Ben the ventriloquist. I wonder if Trillo will show up on the stand as well. Oh, he definitely will, man.
Please state your name and occupation for the record.
My full name is Trillo Quist. I'm employed as an opera tenor.
Excuse me? The witness called to the stand was one Mr. Benjamin Woodman, ventriloquist?
That robe must be cutting off your circulation. I said that I was a singer. Maybe you don't believe me. Fine, I'll grace you with a song. Ahem. The world of the law, exciting and daring, guilty or innocent, decided by a judge dressed up like a woman. Well, what do you think? Had a good rhythm. It's just the lyrics. They leave something to be desired, so to speak.
Trillo, you know better than to insult a judge.
Shut up! Just look at your nose. You would think you'd have the sense to fix it. It's so ugly I want to punch you in the face. On the off chance swelling would help. You know that your nose is the reason you'll never be an A-list star. Celebrities must really enjoy saying everything that flashes into their minds.
What is going on here? Order! Order! I demand to know who this witness is.
Don't worry about me, sir. I'll let Trillo handle this.
I'm not worried about you one bit. What I'm worried about is the testimony.
You won't be getting anywhere trying to figure out this witness. Now let's proceed.
What you witnessed. Alright. Once practice was over, I left the tent with the stooge. Well, I mean the clown. Once we got to the lodging house, I ditched him and went over to the plaza. That was when I saw Max heading towards the scene of the crime. He was the only one that was heading that way. How could that punk not be the killer? Then the police showed up and took the magic boy away.
You saw Maximilian Galactica heading towards scene? You are sure of this?
Without a doubt. He had on his silk hat, his cloak, and that dumb white roses on his chest. How can you mistake someone with that crazy getup and his nose stuck up so high?
That's enough. I think we all get the picture. Just one thing. You said you ditched the clown?
That's right, dress boy.
Well, since you weren't with him, couldn't that mean the clown committed the murder?
He's got a point.
What a shame. It was a nice theory, but the clown can't be criminal.
Why is that?
Here's absolute proof.
The silk hat.
This was found at scene of crime. It belonged to the defendant.
Ugh.
Without question, he was wearing signature hat during practice. If the clown was the murderer, there would be no reason for the hat to be at the scene.
Well done, Miss Von Karma. Your prosecutional skills are unrivaled. Well done.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for stating the obvious. Mr. Phoenix Wright, what do you have to say?
Okay. Guess she's the boss again today. What you witnessed. Once practice was over, I left the tent with the stooge. Well, that means the clown. All right. The clown? You're talking about Mo? Of course I'm talking about that old fart. He's so pathetic, I can't stand him. He's just a little bit of exercise and his makeup is running all over the place. When practice was over, he was 9/10 of the way kneeling over for good. Poor guy. We didn't have any choice, so Ben took him back to his room. When it comes to being a first-place loser, that guy's ahead of the pack.
Then what happened?
Once we got to the lodging house, I ditched him and went over to the plaza. What did you do then? I went over to the plaza to do some thinking. It was awfully cold out that night, especially with all the snow around. Wouldn't thinking in your nice warm lodging house have been a better idea?
Mr. Phoenix Wright, I think you should leave the thinking to the witness.
But I'm a good thunker. At least my teachers always said I was. That's when I saw Max heading towards the scene of the crime. Are you sure it was really Max Galactica? Of course I'm sure. How could you mistake somebody wearing such a snobby three-piece getup? Snobby three-piece getup? Get the wax out of your ears, lawyers nowadays. You're all like talking to a brick wall. Max's three-piece getup. Could you be any more dense? All together now. Silk hat, cloak, white roses. Thank you. Nick, I think you should put a little bit more effort into preparing your questions. He was the only one heading that way. How could that punk not be the killer? You saw Max and only Max. Right, Trillo? That's right. And that makes him the killer. That was the only person headed that way that night.
That does make quite a bit of sense, and makes Max one suspicious character.
There's more to this story than meets the eye, though. Is there something amiss in this? Yeah, there's no proof that it was Max. Anyone could put on the outfit. There's no proof that it actually was him. Wait a second. There's no proof that the witness saw Maximilian Galactica. Hey, you still don't get it, do yous? I saw what I saw. It was Max's three-piece joke of a costume. All right, let's say it all together now. Silk hat, cloak, white roses. Thank you.
I think you should study up on your celebrities, Mr. Wright.
Great, I'm getting shut down by a toy. Hold on. Let's try the other option there. Alright. That's a bit strange, don't you think? What's strange? That you only saw Max? Doesn't it seem like you should have seen someone else as well?
What? Where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? Who else do you suppose the witness could have seen?
Oh yeah, that makes sense, because Russell Berry also went walking away, right? And he never saw Russell.
That's the victim?
That's correct. If Trillo was at the entrance to the plaza, he should have seen the ringmaster as well.
Obviously, Ringmaster arrived at the scene of the crime before the witness. Could see him. Anyone with such sense could figure that one out.
What are you talking about? The ringmaster and Max were together in the ringmaster's room.
Is that, according to the defendant, a likely story? If Maximilian Galactica was supposed to be in Ringmaster's room, then why was he, just as witness stated, at the scene of the crime?
Ugh, I see. It seems that at this stage I have no reason to doubt the witness's testimony. And there are clearly no conclusive contradictions.
He's right.
A brilliant judgment, Your Honor. Now let's move along with testimony.
Trillo wouldn't happen to have an ulterior motive for incriminating Max, would he? Well, Max is part of a bitter love triangle with Regina, which is probably why Max conked him over the head. Nick, wasn't Ben the one who got knocked over the head? Yeah, I think so. I don't know anymore. Once practice was over, I left the tent with that clown. I never pressed on this statement, though. No, he was the only one heading that way. Oh no, this one. The police showed up and took Magic Boy away. I never pressed on this. Around what time did the police arrive at the scene? I suppose that would have been around 8. What time was it?
Huh? I think it was around, say, a bit after 10:30, I think.
Practice ended at 10 p.m., so you hung around the lodging house the entire time?
I guess that sounds about right.
Wasn't it awfully cold? I can't believe you'd just be outside standing in that weather.
Well, truth is,
Will you shut up, you big-nosed dope? Why are you telling him anything extra? Why can't you believe that we just stand outside in that weather? Well, maybe you were waiting for someone. What? What? Who said we was waiting for someone?
Objection! Mr. Phoenix Wright, we can all do without your offhanded theories.
But this witness, he's cracking under pressure already. I'm onto something.
Mr. Wright, who do you suppose the witness was waiting for out in the cold that night?
Shit, I don't know. Not Max, most likely. I don't know, maybe Max. Not Dick Gumshoe. Maybe Regina. Probably. Oh, yeah, Regina. Yeah, cause of the ring. Probably. That would probably make sense. He had already given her the note. Probably wanted to give her the ring. I'm gonna say Regina. Well, if he was waiting outside in the cold, it was for one person. And one person only. He was waiting for the animal tamer, Regina. What? You were waiting outside for Regina to come back to the lodging house. Am I mistaken?
Is this true?
Well, you can't really ask me that question. Who cares who I was waiting for that night? What's important is what I saw. Don't you forget it.
Well. The puppet may be a bit stiff, but he is right.
Huh? All right. There's obviously a reason why the witness was there that night. He spent all that time waiting for Regina to arrive. Moreover, even if someone else would have walked right in front of him, I doubt he would have paid them a second thought.
That does make perfect sense.
What do you just say? The witness saw the defendant at scene of crime.
However, he did not see the victim on the way to his eventual demise. If you accept that, then you must accept that there is a high likelihood that he could have missed someone else other than Max heading to the area.
There is absolutely no proof that the witness was waiting for the animal tamer.
I guess he got me. All right. I'll spill the beans for the real this time. It's true. I was waiting for Regina. Pain.
Do not volunteer information.
Mr. Quist, tell us the truth this time, and I mean the whole truth. Were you or were you not there waiting for Regina at the entrance to the lodging house? I was. I was waiting to propose to her.
You were...
What? Waiting to propose?
What's the matter? You think that humans have a monopoly on marriages?
The matter of puppet marriage is not under review in this case.
You're the judge! I mean, look at your horrible outfit!
More pain. Thanks to your bumbling, my perfect plan is not so perfect anymore. Now we have to waste time getting to the bottom of some silly proposal by puppet.
Ugh.
Gross.
Don't be so surprised that I was going to propose to Regina. I even had something to give to her. I kept it in my pocket, waiting for the chance to propose and give it to her. Of course, I also had it in my pocket that night. It was a present for her. In the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I still got it in my pocket. Pfft, there's the lie.
You were going to propose? You, a puppet.
Don't be so obtuse. Just because I'm a puppet don't mean I can't love.
I guess you're right. Just because I'm old doesn't mean I couldn't propose to her too.
Exactly. His honor's looking a little less than honorable right now.
Okay, Mr. Wright, please continue with your examination.
Did you hear that? His sigh seemed a little wistful. Alright, about the proposal. Don't be so surprised that I was going back to propose. I even had something to give to her. Kept it in my pocket waiting for the chance to propose and gave it to her. Of course, I also had it in my pocket that night. It was a present for her. I don't know when the monkey stole it. but I know the monkey stole it. In the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I've still got it in my pocket. I'm gonna press on this first, and then I'll present, possibly. So you're still thinking of trying to give it to Regina? Of course I am! I spent 3 months' salary on this thing. I'm not gonna give up that easily. I wonder how much he receives from appearing in the circus. Probably way more than he deserves. How about it, Nick? I think it's about time to unwrap this toy's testimony. That's the spirit, Nick. Give him heck! Oh. Just that dazed look again. Maybe he should get out more. Alright, I gotta go present the ring, I think. Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence. Oh, I gotta present the monkey. Dang it. I hate when you know what you need to present, but you don't present the right thing. Like, I know what I need to prove, but it was the monkey I needed to present. In the end, I wasn't able, so I still got it in my pocket. The evidence... What? How was the monkey not... What? That doesn't make any sense! The monkey... I found it in the monkey's pile of junk! He's lying! I hate this game sometimes. Alright, how do I work around this to spill the beans that the monkey stole the ring? I'm gonna press on more stuff. Don't be so surprised. I was going to propose to Regina. By proposal, you mean propose marriage? Correct? You haven't got him to even say it was the ring yet? But... I mean, I guess, yeah. I guess. By proposal, you mean proposing marriage, correct? To Regina. Of course that's what I meant. What kind of stupid question is that? I wasn't gonna propose that we become some sort of outlaw biker gang together. Right, Ben? Yeah. Got it, that's the truth. I even had something to give her. What was it exactly that you planned on giving her? You know exactly what I was going to give a numbskull. The only thing that I could find that could match her beauty.
Answer his question. What was it?
You're gonna die when you hear this. That's an engagement ring.
An engagement ring?
These two nearly fell out of their chairs.
Mr. Phoenix Wright joke has gone too far. Time for this to end right here.
Franziska's whip looks like it's about to lash out at almost anything. One hit from that thing will probably shut someone up for a long time. Push on anyway. It may be something of a joke, but this is a historic moment. The first time that a puppet has ever proposed to a...
I advise you cut this argument short.
I'm going to have to agree with the defense here. Will the witness please revise their testimony, specifically about the engagement ring? I'd like to stick to the facts, not sociology.
You sure do like sweating the details, especially for a man in a black bathrobe. I plan on giving an engagement ring to Regina. An engagement ring? Uh-huh. Inadequately, it's actually a diamond-shaped stone cut from glass. Even more brilliant than the real thing. I think Regina's gonna love it. It's just a ring. What's the matter, Nick? Well, there's got to be something I can catch him on. I kept it in my pocket, but I was waiting for the chance on a chance to propose and give it to her. Of course, I also had it in my pocket that night. I'm gonna keep pressing on other stuff. Whose pocket was the ring in? Mine, of course. What a stupid question. You gotta be kidding me. You think Ben could have pulled this off? Oh, I'm sorry. Really? You don't have to apologize for that. He's the one who should be apologizing, numbskull. Of course, I also had it in my pocket that night. It was a present for her. So you went to the lodging house to give it to her? That's right. I tried to give it to her during practice so many times that I lost count, but that uppity snob kept getting up in the way. Uppity snob? He couldn't possibly be talking about me. Maximilian Galactica. When I get a hold of him, I'm gonna saw his wood block in half, and not with magic. Well, they always say love creates rivalries.
So what about this present?
In the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I still got it in my pocket. So you're still thinking of giving it to Regina? Of course I am! I spent 3 months' salary on that thing! Alright, I guess I gotta present the ring right here. It's my only idea. I don't know, man. This evidence. No. Okay, I don't know where to go from here, man. I'm so low on health, dude. Kept it in my pocket, waiting for the chance. Like, I hate this game, dude. This is exactly where I tried to present it before, but I guess the fact that we didn't confirm that the present was a ring, I kind of just got ahead of myself. But, like, I had it. I lost all that health for nothing. So dumb. This game's dumb. Trillo, do you mind if I show you something? What is it? What are you talking about? Uh-oh. Looks like they're gonna double team me now. Do you recognize this ring? Ah, that's mine! Give it back! Thief! Thief! Didn't you just testify about having this very object? I believe you said, in the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I've still got it in my pocket. Why then do I have it right now?
What's going on here?
That's Ben. Say something, Ben.
Don't put me on the spot like that, Trillo.
I found this in Money's room.
Money's room? You mean a room they put money, like a bank vault?
Ah, that filthy monkey is gonna get what's coming to him.
Mr. Quist, I would prefer if you avoid slandering innocent fiats in my court.
Well, Your Honor, Money really is a monkey, in every sense of the word.
Oh, I see. Well then.
Money likes to go after the shiniest things that he can find and gather them up.
Shiny things?
Trillo, when was the ring stolen from you?
Well, I suppose it was that time. You know, that night. The night of the crime.
What you just say?
Details, I need more details.
Well, it was stolen right after Max showed up in the plaza. Right about when you saw the defendant walk past.
Right about when you saw the defendant walk past, correct?
Well, I guess you might, be able to say that. The ring might have, well, it could have been, taken around that time.
Ben, what's with you? Whatever. It has nothing to do with anything. Especially not who committed the murder. It's not for you to decide what it has to do with what. Now, Trillo, back to the topic at hand. I haven't admitted a thing. Not I. Mr. Trillo Quist. What did you do when the ring was taken, Trillo? You know exactly what I did. I chased after that ring-snatching monkey. But you weren't able to catch up with him, were you? It's all that slow, loafy fool called Ben's fault. While he was fumbling his way through the snow, that dumb monkey was able to get away.
This is indeed an incredible shame.
Well, this does indeed prove one very important point.
a prove important point. What could that possibly be?
There's a huge contradiction in the witness's testimony.
Contradiction?
The witness just testified to the following effect. Up until the police arrived, he didn't move from the entrance to the plaza. However, the witness just stated that he chased after Money the Monkey. When the witness was off chasing Money, there was no one watching the plaza.
What is the meaning of all this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Where are you going with this little theory of yours?
I am saying that there is no possible way that this witness saw the plaza the entire time. That's where I'm going with this little theory. Which leads me to my next point. It is entirely possible that someone other than the defendant was at the scene.
Interesting, Mr. Wright.
Well then, tell me this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Do you have any proof that something slipped past this vigilant ventriloquist?
Well, he obviously didn't see the victim, the ringmaster, arrive on the scene.
However, that doesn't change the fact that he saw the defendant arrive.
The witness is lying! He is blinded by his rivalry with Max.
Well, the defense's argument does hold water. The witness does have a history of animosity towards the defendant.
What? How dares ya? I wouldn't lie just to get that dork face in trouble. He's not even worth it. I saw him. No doubt about it. I saw that worthless liar.
Well, just for clarity's sake, let's flesh out exactly who you saw on that night.
Yeah, I told you so many times. You'd think you'd know my story's not changing. You've already changed your story, stick boy. And I'm sure it'll change some more. Where there's one lie, there's usually many more behind it. Exactly, Maya. That's why we have to keep after him. Yeah. Witnessing Max. All right. We're going to get the intense music now. I'll give you that I was waiting for the night that... I'll give you that I was waiting that night for Regina. But that doesn't change the fact that I saw Max in the plaza that night. He showed up after I had been waiting there for about, 5 minutes. I said, good evening to him, but he didn't even acknowledge my presence. I'm absolutely sure it was him. I saw Maximilian Galactica at the scene. There's no way I could mistake someone wearing those 3 ridiculous symbols.
So that means Money didn't show up until after you saw Max.
That's right. Money ran up less than a minute after I saw Max. Did Money snatch the ring and you went chasing after him?
How long was it until you came back to where you were waiting?
Well, let's see. I say about...
Suppose 5 minutes?
So victim could have arrived to scene in that 5-minute stretch.
Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination.
I'll give you that I was waiting that night for Regina. So you were only concerned with waiting for Regina that night. That means you probably wouldn't have noticed if someone else showed up. You should think about how many eyes I actually have. I got 4, F-O-U-R. Counting Ben, of course. With that many, do you really think something would have slipped by me?
4 eyes is an awful lot of attention detailed in one area, I suppose.
That judge is even more dangerous to our case than Trillo. But that doesn't change the fact that I saw Max in the plaza that night. He's gonna slip on something. So you saw Max coming out of the big top that night. Of course that's where I saw him coming from. I was staring at the entrance to the tent the entire time. I guess that makes sense, especially since he was waiting for Regina. He showed up after I had been waiting for about, 5 minutes. About what time would you say these events took place? You're one of the dumbest people on the planet if you can't figure it out for yourself. You already know the practice promptly finished at 10 p.m. And you already know that I went to the lodging house right after practice. You don't need to be a brain surgeon to know around what time it was when I saw him. Just add 10 more minutes. I'm sure you can do that. Now, what time was it?
Indeed, what time was it?
What time was it? Let me think about it for a second. Yo, I'm no good at this.
It was 10 p.m.
Ah, yes, that sounds about right.
It sounds about right because that's the time when I saw Max on the scene. I said good evening to him, but he didn't even acknowledge my presence. So you testified that you said good evening to Max that night. You must enjoy asking incredibly obvious questions, pal. You say good morning in the morning? You say good afternoon during the day, right? And it's obvious that I'd say good night to somebody at night. What, Ben? You got something to add? Let me guess. That's not it, Trillo. You say good evening at night.
I'm sorry, Trillo.
Mr. Quist, I would prefer if you keep your ventriloquist act outside of the courtroom.
Impossible! A performer lives and breathes his performances. You should know better. There's gotta be something wrong with this bit of the testimony. So he died at 10:15. It was at 10:10 that he saw Max go. That could make sense, though. It's the pepper, guys. It's the pepper. It's gotta be the pepper. I don't know what's wrong with this. Trillo's evening greeting. Ben's half of the comedy act. I'll say the evening greeting. Isn't that a bit strange to you? What do you mean? Well, if you hate Max so much, why would you bother being nice to him? It strikes me as somewhat strange. Why would it strike you as strange?
Exactly. How is it strange to be cordial to one of your co-workers?
Well, if it was simply being cordial to a coworker, I understand. Ah, that hurt!
Maybe you should think of having some proof before your lips start flapping next time. Proof is everything in world. Should have learned that back in grade school.
There's no reason that Trillo would ever say something nice to Max, but how do I go about proving that with evidence? Bluffing is everything in this world, but I'm sure you already learned that one. I guess I can give it a shot.
The witness will resume his testimony.
I'm absolutely sure it was him. Hold on, I wanna try this one more time and try the other option. Let's fast forward through all this. Ben's half of the comedy act. Let's see. I hate to say it, but Ben's part of your little comedy act is coming off a bit stale. I'm sure that if
You are not trying to pass yourself off as professional performer, are you? Do not get so wrapped up in yourself, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You should know better.
Ow, that hurts!
That should have sent him straight. You may proceed with testimony, witness.
I am absolutely sure it was him. I saw Maximilian Galactica at the scene. I gotta double check my my info here, man. The hat, the ringmaster's papers, the promo poster, the broken bottle, the circus map. I'm gonna keep pressing on some other stuff, see if I can't find any other info here. You are 100% absolutely sure of what you just said. I told you already. Jeez, I am 100% absolutely sure.
There's no way he could be.
There's no way he could be any more confident than already is.
There's no way I can mistake someone wearing those 3 ridiculous symbols. Alright, what 3 symbols? Tell me that. Those 3 ridiculous symbols, huh? Out of curiosity, how many times have you asked that question by now? If you're gonna ask it again, I'll answer with a chorus. Everyone together now.
Silk hat.
Cloak.
White roses. Thank you very much. Yeah, those are the 3 symbols. Maya, you didn't have to join in, did you? But it's fun shouting with everyone else. There has to be a hole in his testimony somewhere. I agree, but do we have proof to make something stick? All we can do is try, right, Nick? Gotta have something that'll prove useful. All right, time to go to work. All right, I got no ideas right now. We didn't get anything extra in the testimony. So we have, right now, our crime scene photo with him bent over the trunk. No extra footprints. We have our silk hat made to order fedora that is the symbol of Max's fabulousness found at the scene of the crime. We have the ringmaster's papers, documents related to Max's salary negotiations. He got an enormous raise 1 week ago. We got his poster with, that's not gonna be it. The broken bottle. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, why would he be cordial and nice after Max hit him in the head with a broken bottle, not like, I don't know, like a day earlier? I don't remember exactly when it happened. That's actually probably our best chance for a bluff right here. If we present the broken bottle. Let's go back and press one more time. Let's press one more time here, and then we'll see if it gives me the option to present. Alright. There's something wrong with this testimony. The evening greeting. Isn't that a bit strange to you? What do you mean? Well, if you hate Max so much, why would you bother being nice to him? Strikes me as somewhat strange. Why would it strike you as strange?
Exactly. How strange is it to be cordial to one of your co-workers?
Well, it was simply just being cordial to a coworker, I would understand. Oh, that hurt!
Maybe you should think of having some proof before flapping your lip next time. Proof is everything in this world, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You should have learned that back in grade school.
There's no reason that Shirley would ever say something nice to Max, but how do I prove that with evidence? Alright. Let's try the bottle. Music stopped. Trillo, is it not true that you had a fight with Max on the day of the murder?
A fight?
A fight over Regina, to be exact. It wasn't a big deal. Just an argument. A disagreement at most. A disagreement usually doesn't end with someone getting conked over the head. Ah! That morning, Ben got clobbered over the head by Max, didn't he?
What? Is that an admission of assault and battery?
Before we handle that, we wrap up defendant murder charge first.
The truth is that on that day of the crime, the defendant and the witness had a huge fight. There was absolutely no way they would have suddenly become cordial that evening. Moreover, just consider the personality of the witness on the stand. There's no way this puppet this lewd would ever just say good evening to his rival. Ugh!
Are you saying the witness is lying? That he trying to frame defendant by claiming to have seen him at scene of crime?
I didn't tell a single lie, honestly.
That's enough from you, Mr. Quist. Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor?
Let's clarify the testimony for the court. Could you explain your theory about the witness actually saw that night?
He didn't see anyone, he saw the defendant, or he saw a different person. What is our theory? I want to say he didn't see anyone, because according to us, Max did not leave the ringmaster's office. The ringmaster said, "I'll be back in 10," and he left at 10. And the ringmaster, he wouldn't have left at exactly 10 minutes. So he didn't see anyone. Of course, the witness did not see a soul that night.
I see.
Who do you think you ought to just up and decide what it is I saw that night?
A fool can only understand a foolish foolery, uttered by the most foolish of fools. The witness didn't see anyone. You wouldn't happen to have proof to back up that statement, would you?
Gah, I don't. Nick, I just thought of something. If Ben and Trillo really didn't see anyone that night, they wouldn't have testified that they greeted someone that night, would they? What do you mean? I think that Trillo really did say good evening to someone that night. But Trillo and Max, they were in the middle of a huge fight. Exactly, because it wasn't... Oh.
Maybe you should think over this some more on your own time, Mr. Wright. Let's clarify the testimony for the court. Could you explain the theory about what the witness saw?
I think he saw a different person that night. It is my belief that the witness didn't see someone that night. It was just someone else. That's who we said good evening to.
What kind of theory is that?
The correct one. Furthermore, I don't believe the person the witness saw was Max at all.
What?
If he had truly met Max that night, there would have been no greeting at all, which means there is only one proper answer. The person the witness saw that night was not Maximilian Galactica. This is why Trillo made the effort to greet whoever it was he saw that evening, or good evening, as he put it.
What in world? Yeah.
Would the defense kindly explain who it was that Trillo saw that evening then? Shit, I don't know. Oh, it's Russell, of course. Considering the ill temper of the witness, there is only one person he would greet.
It must be Regina. It's Regina, right? Oh, she's so cute.
No, Your Honor, it's not Regina. If it was Regina, Trillo would have given her the engagement ring as a present.
Oh yeah, I suppose you've got a point there.
It was Russell Barry. The victim himself, was it not?
You are correct. It was indeed Russell Barry. The person you saw that evening was the victim, the ringmaster, Russell Barry, and that's why you greeted him, Trillo. Isn't that correct? Answer the question, Mr. Quist.
Order! Order in my courtroom. How do you respond to this?
Wait a second. Well, at first I thought it was the old man, but once I got a better look at him, it was obviously Maximilian Galactica.
I think it's high time that we clear the air about this question. Mr. Quist obviously witnessed a single person in the area of the plaza that evening. The problem is identifying exactly who that person was. Was it Maximilian? Or was it the ringmaster, Mr. Russell Barry?
The prosecution argues that it was the defendant that the witness saw that night. The witness has clearly stated that he saw defendant 3 symbols.
3 symbols? All right, this is getting old. Come on, man. You gotta remember them by now. Here we go again, everybody. All together now. Ow!
Yes, we know. Silk hat, cloak, white rose.
A silk hat and a cloak. Anyone could wear them. They'd even look good on me.
What was that?
Well, the witness has endlessly repeated that he saw Max's 3 symbols. However, how do we really know it was Maximilian Galactica? It could have been someone else, dressed up as him. Possibly even Russell Barry.
Nani?
Miss Von Karma, do you have clear evidence that the person the witness saw was the defendant?
Well,
If that's the case, then it is impossible for me to make a judgment at this point.
Yes! I think we finally won a point in this one.
That is very unfortunate.
Huh?
You're just a little too excited for your own good, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What do you mean by that?
You merely established one thing from witness. You established that this witness saw one person in Plaza that night. I applaud you on your effort,
But
who that person was can only be answered by next witness.
Huh? Nani?
Your Honor, the prosecution will provide, beyond the shadow of a doubt, an answer to question, the evidence that clearly established one thing. There is no one other than Maximilian Galactica responsible for crime.
Very well. The court will take a 10-minute recess. During that time, I request the prosecution prepare their next witness. Court is now in recess.
Okay. To be continued. So we're going to be getting Mo the Clown up next, I believe. We gotta see. We gotta keep going, man. We gotta keep trucking on down. Gotta keep trucking. Keep trucking. Sorry for doing that to you. Sweetie, you have to believe me. I didn't go anywhere near that crime scene. So then where were you when the murder took place? We talked about it yesterday, remember? I was in the ringmaster's room. And while you were there, it was the ringmaster who left the room, right? Exactly. He told me to wait in the room because he would be right back. That's when the ringmaster headed to the scene of the crime, right? That's what it seemed like. But the ringmaster must have been wearing Max's costume, right? Oh, sweetie, I just remembered. I went straight to the ringmaster's room, still dressed in my stage clothes. But when I got there, I went ahead and took the costume off. Which means... it means that the ringmaster could have taken his costume and went out looking like Max. Fabulous! That's fabulously possibility. Well done, Nick. However, sweetie, why would the ringmaster want to dress up like me? Isn't it a bit strange? If you think about it, all they found at the crime scene was my silk hat. What about my cloak? Where did that go? Wow, Max, I never thought of that. You should be a detective or something. Well, I was never quite sure what I wanted to be when I grew up. Magician or president? You have no idea how hard it was to make a decision. That's really cool. Fabulous. The mystery just keeps getting deeper. All right, we've been in the courtroom for 2 hours and 6 minutes. Dang, it's been a long court session so far. That was a long testimony.
Now that everyone is back, let's get this started. The court is now back in session. Miss Von Karma, please proceed with the prosecution's case.
Very well. I will now call my next witness. A pitiful clown with the unfortunate distinction of having seen the entire thing. Will Mr. Lawrence Curls please take the stand?
Lawrence Curls? Isn't his name Mo? Aw, he looks so sad.
The witness will state name and occupation for court record.
Did he just say in West Clownadelphia, born and raised? What? Did he just Will Smith us? Yo, I like this clown. In West Clownadelphia.
Will the witness please inform the court why he is speaking autobiographical gibberish?
I'm sorry. I'm just not used to being in court. I've never been in a courtroom in my life. I wasn't sure what joke was best suited in this sort of occasion.
What in the world are you talking about? You're in a grand hall of justice, not some comedy club. Since it's easy to see your occupation, please state your name for the court.
Oh yeah, maybe this joke's okay. Do I have to wear pants? The sign only says no shirt, no shoes, no service. Okay, how about this? Have you met my proctologist? Dr. Seymour Butts? That was that one! But a couple of
clowns that were up to no good started making trouble in my neighborhood. He's doing it. God. Oh my.
Your name.
Lawrence Curls. Professional funny man, also known as Mo the Clown.
You witnessed scene of around 10:15 p.m. other day of murder, correct?
Yeah, it is.
Very well, Mr. Curls. Will you please testify to what you saw that evening?
A rabbi, a priest, and a Rastafarian walking to...
Without the humor, please.
Okay.
Aw, poor Mo. Can't be his normal stoochy self in court.
I know. I'm not the greatest comedian in the world. I haven't been able to make people laugh for 10 years. No matter what I say, all I get in return is a vacant stare and a polite applause.
Yeah, that's sad stuff, man.
Since no one ever laughs at my jokes, I've taken to laughing at them myself. It's a bad habit, but hey, at least I'm trying. Imagine my predicament. I'm a clown who can't make people laugh. I'm almost useless. But I keep trying. I even tried to come up with jokes just for today, but this atmosphere is very nerve-wracking. I decided to try and making everyone laugh. Seriously, everyone. What do you think of me? How am I doing?
That's not a... Aren't we the ones supposed to be asking questions here?
Witness,
Huh?
we will listen to your call for help after court proceeding over. Thus, please stick with the fact of the case.
Really? You'll hear me out?
Well, I'll make sure that one of my staff be your straight man later.
Thank you. I can't wait.
Poor Gumshoe.
Now that that's settled, we begin once again with the testimony.
Of course we can. I'll talk for as long as you want.
I like this clown and I hate him at the same time.
Well, the night of the murder, after practice was over, I went straight back to my room. You have no idea how tired I was that night. I was pooped. Thought I'd go straight to sleep, but before I did, I glanced out the window, and that's when I saw two silhouettes. They were a bit far away, though. It was the ringmaster, and he was with Max, who was wearing his cloak. I kept watching them, and all of a sudden, Max clonked the ringmaster over the head.
That's very interesting. If this eyewitness account is to be believed, I have enough to pass judgment right now.
I urge you go ahead, Your Honor. There's no way this account can be criticized.
However, the witness is a bit, how do you say, off-kilter? Almost like he has some sort of atmosphere of guilt around him.
That must be because of my insincere smile.
Mr. Wright, please begin the defense's cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor. Nick, you gotta find some kind of contradiction in his testimony. I know that! I'm the lawyer!
Mr. Wright,
Your Honor?
I'm afraid that if you push this witness too far, it would bring disaster upon the court. Thus, I sincerely hope you're not gonna engage in pointless saber rattling.
I understand, Your Honor.
If you cause Clown to stray from facts, I'll hold you responsible.
Why am I responsible? I'm not the one with the corny jokes.
The night of the murder, after practice was over, I went straight back to my room.
That's fine.
You have no idea how tired I was that night. I was pooped. I thought I'd go straight to bed, but before I did, I glanced out the window.
Alright, this is the suspicious part. You just happened to glance out of the window?
You could say that. You could say I peeked, stared, glimpsed, peeped, eyeballed.
Mr. Curls,
Oh,
I guess synonyms aren't allowed either.
what should I do? I wonder if I should press him further on this issue. Keep pressing. Exactly why did you look out of your window that night?
Why? Why? Clowns don't need a reason to look out their window, do they?
I don't know, man. That's not what I meant. I meant that, well, when we spoke yesterday...
Once I tucked myself into bed, I heard this amazing noise. It was incredibly loud. It sounded like a giant thump. Oh yeah! I forgot about that!
You forgot?
Your Honor, the witness looked out of his window upon hearing a loud sound. He did not simply glance out of his window that night.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot to mention that thump, didn't I?
That is not something you just forget to mention.
Yeah, what she said. I believe it would be best if Mo were to revise his testimony.
Very well. Mr. Curls, please revise your testimony.
This should start turning the tables in our favor.
I heard a huge noise outside the window, and that's what made me take a look outside. That's when I saw two silhouettes. They were a bit far away though. It was the ringmaster and he was with Max, who was wearing his cloak. I kept watching them and all of a sudden Max clonked the ringmaster over the head.
But the thump he heard was probably the attack, so I don't understand what was the first noise if the second clonk happened.
Yeah, I did. It's the climax of my story.
He really does enjoy the complete random non sequitur. What would you say the victim was struck with?
You mean the weapon? Well, I got no idea. A weapon wasn't found at the murder scene, right?
No. You did say you saw the entire thing, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I suppose I did. Wait, no, I didn't. I didn't see a weapon.
Mo, did you or did you not see the crime of murder committed that night?
I will not permit you to harass my witness in this manner. You better have excellent reason for attacking this poor, pure clown. Because if you don't, you know what is waiting for you. A nice penalty.
Oh God, that is the rest of my health. Oh God. Wow. Sir?
What would it be, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Do you have any clear basis to believe my witness did not see crime?
Okay, I think I do, but I'm not gonna continue just yet because I don't have, like, a physical object to prove it. Here's my logic. He heard one loud thunk, clunk, crank, whatever the noise was. And then he started looking. That thunk, theoretically, is the impact of the weapon on the ringleader, the ringmaster. Now, here is what I think is the actual case of what happened. The thunk is the ringleader dropping the chest. And then the second attack actually was witnessed by the clown. But I think we do have enough information at this point to assume, or at least to accuse him. But I gotta go back and look at that other thing. Well, see, right now I don't have a clear basis to be thinking that. Then this
just another one of your pointless efforts to badger witness. Thus, you have just earned yourself penalty from me.
Now, wait a second, Miss Von Karma. This time I do not feel the need to treat Mr. Wright so harshly.
That's right, what he said. Bailed out by the judge, what an honor indeed.
If we must penalize Mr. Wright for his display, I think a verbal censure would be best.
Huh?
You know the rules, Mr. Wright. There's no room for baseless hounding in this courtroom.
Are you kidding me? Shit. Oh, that's bad, dude. All right, we gotta go back and press some more on the thunk. What was the sound like?
Well, I guess it kind of sounded like, I guess you could say...
Mr. Curls, may the court remind you that humor is unnecessary.
No, how'd you know I was gonna make a joke? I guess the sound sounded like I suppose it sounded like someone getting hit with something very hard. Yep, that's what it sounded like, honestly.
Someone getting hit, huh?
Wait, then you went to look out your window and you saw...
That's when I saw two silhouettes. They were far enough away. They were a bit far away, though.
I'm gonna keep pressing a little bit. Far away, you say? If you had to say exactly how far they were, what's the distance you'd put on it?
Well, let me think about that for a second. If my room is right here, and they looked about yay big, I'd say they're about 30 feet from my window?
Just 30 feet? That's not far at all.
It was snowing that night, and it cut down on the visibility.
I see. Please continue with your testimony regarding the two shadows that you saw.
It was the ringmaster, and he was with Max, who was wearing his cloak.
You'd say you clearly saw this, even though you were, by your own admission, very far away?
That's right. I'd been thinking about it over and over since that night, but things didn't really make sense until I spoke with the prosecutor, Miss Von Karma. But now I'm 100% certain that it was Max and the ringmaster I saw that night. Just think about it. How could I be wrong if Max is wearing his uppity symbols?
Uppity symbols?
Lawyers nowadays, you even have to go to school to be one anymore? All right, everyone knows what to do. Say it with Uncle Mo.
Oh, everyone left him hanging.
See what I mean? It's always like this. The crowd never wants to go along with me. I must really be utterly, completely worthless as a clown. Yowza!
Enough foolishness. Get back on track.
Will the witness please testify as to what he saw and only what he saw?
I kept watching them, and all of a sudden, Max clonked the ringmaster over the head.
Alright, and this is where I'm gonna... Yeah, okay. You say you saw the ringmaster get clonked over the head? Yeah, bibbity bobbity boo. I'm gonna press further on this one. Did you or did you not see a crime of murder committed that night? Alright. I don't care about your threats, lady. I'm not afraid of no Von Karma. Of course I do. I've got a great reason to make my claim.
And I suppose you'll be telling us all that great reason.
Of course I will. The reason is the witness's very own testimony.
What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright?
Mo said that he heard a sound like a thump of someone getting hit.
He did say that.
However, Mo just stated the following under oath.
I kept watching them, and all of a sudden, Max clonked the ringmaster over the head.
If Mo is to be believed when he says he looked out of a window upon hearing a sound, there's no way he could have seen Max clonk anyone. In 1972, What? What did he just say there? He was about to say in 1972 a crackdown unit. He was telling a joke of some sort. That's not a Fresh Prince reference anymore.
Mr. Curls, how do you respond to Mr. Wright's assessment?
They didn't commit. These clowns promptly escaped it from a maximum security clown car.
He's still talking about that, whatever he was talking about.
Mr. Curls, are you reciting the C-Team theme to anger this court?
It's an A-Team reference? Gross.
No.
No.
I'm just stalling for time while I jog my memory.
Oh, great job, Nick. These types of witnesses always seem to have selective memory. Just have to peel back the layers of the clown makeup to find the truth.
Well,
You're back from your jog.
Well, it was pretty much happened the way I said.
Pretty much?
When I looked out my window at night, the ringmaster was already face down in the snow. The prosecution helped me fill the gaps in my statement.
I don't know why the prosecution doesn't get penalized for that kind of shit. I'm sitting here presenting evidence that's fully valid, getting penalized. I'm angry. Tampering with the witness again.
So now you are saying that you did not see the defendant clonk the ringmaster?
Yeah. When I looked out my window, the ringmaster had already checked out.
Checked out?
Yeah. He was on permanent vacation, as they say.
Mr. Curls,
Your Honor?
you did not witness the actual crime. However, you still say you saw the criminal, correct?
Yeah, exactly. The ringmaster was slumped over, and I saw someone's silhouette next to him.
Very well, then please testify to the silhouette you saw, and I expect the truth. And if I even catch a hint of a joke from you, I will put you in a holding cell until you learn etiquette. Got it?
Got it.
The silhouette.
I was a bit far away, but that shadow could have only belonged to Max. There's no doubting it, especially since I saw his uppity symbols. His silk hat, that black cloak, it was all there. His face was silhouetted, but there's no doubt that it was him. The cloak was fluttering in the wind, so I couldn't really see what he was carrying.
It does seem as if the defendant was at the scene of the crime.
You took your time realizing that, didn't you? Whatever. That should be enough, right?
It is decisive testimony.
Was Max really at this crime scene that night? He said he wasn't there. We have to keep believing that.
All right, Mr. Wright, commence your cross-examination.
Whew. Sorry, give me 1 sec, guys. Got a quick little thing I gotta reply to. Cool. All right, all good. The silhouette.
I was a bit far away, but that shadow could have only belonged to Max. There's no doubting it, especially since I saw his uppity symbols. His silk hat, that black cloak, they were all there. His face was silhouetted, but there was no doubt that it was him. His cloak was fluttering in the wind, so I couldn't really see what he was carrying.
With Trillo's testimony and now Moe's, it really seems like Max is the killer. Nick, you gotta find a contradiction in this. It's not going to be enough. What? I have to prove that Moe saw something other than Max that night. That's the only thing that will help. I've got to do it. Okay, my only thought is that the silk hat, the black cloak, they were all there. He didn't mention the white roses. See, right up there on his lapel. Not lapel, but his collar area. Man, what a cool looking guy though. God, Maximilian. Hunk of a man. But yeah, that's my only real idea here. I'm gonna press right here, see if I get anywhere. You're sure that is what you saw that night?
Exactly what I said I saw is exactly what I saw. I got eyes like a hawk.
Don't birds have terrible night vision?
But that's not all I saw. His face was silhouetted, but there's no doubt that it was him.
I can't, the hat I can't present. The crime photo's not gonna work. The Ringmaster's papers don't make any sense. This probably makes the most sense. It has his symbols on it, and it's emblazoned with Max's 3 famous symbols. We're gonna go for it. Nice. You say you saw all of Max's uppity symbols.
I suppose so. That silk hat and the cloak, right?
Moe, everyone knows that Maximilian Galactica has 3 uppity symbols.
3 symbols?
Yes, everyone get ready. All together now. Silk hat, cloak, white roses.
What the?
Who cares if he knew that there were 3 or not? He saw what he saw, and he saw the symbols. He just forgot to mention one. Isn't that right, Moe?
Do you like pie? I love pie!
And he just started saying the digits of pi.
Silence, fool. You are to respond with the whole truth. No fractions.
Order! Order!
Moe, you didn't see the roses, did you?
To be honest, There wasn't any roses on the person I saw. Oh,
The crime scene was dark. It's obvious it was too dark to see that kind of detail.
He testified to having eyes like a hawk. Not to mention the roses are white. There's no way he could have missed them.
Then the roses must have fallen off when defendant assaulted the victim.
If that's the case, then the police would have found them near the scene of the crime.
Mr. Wright, are these white roses truly material to the facts of this case?
Clearly not. He is just toying with this court.
Ooh. I got her on the ropes now. Whether there's a nugget of truth, it always seems to peek out of me and then run away. Someone is toying with the court, but it's not me. Your Honor, do you recall Trillo's testimony? There's no way I could mistake someone wearing those 3 ridiculous symbols. How can you mistake someone with that crazy getup and his nose stuck up so high? How could you mistake someone wearing such a snobby 3-piece getup? Trillo saw all 3 of them. All 3 of Max's symbols. However, this witness claims there was no white roses on the person he saw. There is absolutely no doubt that there is the contradiction here.
Now what am I supposed to think? One is supposed to disregard the pointless, but this... Judge, forget the
roses. Think about his other testimony. The witness has stated without doubt that he saw Maximilian Galactica. Nothing else mattered. Let's wrap up this case.
Your Honor, it may be trivial, but there should still be some doubt lingering in your mind.
Frankly, I have my doubts about the witness. It seems that, unlike wine, the witness has not grown more mature with age.
I'm not mature.
I've come to a conclusion. I'm 99% certain that the witness saw the defendant. However, my remaining 1% of doubt is still reasonable. Which means that for my peace of mind, I'm going to request a bit more testimony.
Nani?
If there are no contradictions in the next statement, I am prepared to issue a ruling.
A ruling? Nick, this is your last chance. Alright. Alright, man.
There's no doubt in my mind. There were no white roses that night. However, all the other symbols were there. I'm equally sure of that. Especially the silk hat. There's no way I could forget seeing the decorations on it. He was wearing it the entire time he was on the scene.
Mr. Wright, you've got one last chance at this. Just one chance?
I will not allow even the slightest hint of badgering against the witness. If you are going to prove to me there is a contradiction with Mr. Curl's statement, you'd better have at least a shred of evidence to back up your accusations.
I've only got a single shot at this. I've got to be careful. I understand, Your Honor. One chance is all I will need. I feel pretty safe about this, guys. I feel pretty good about this.
No doubt in my mind. However, all the other symbols, zibbity-zabbity-zoo. All these statements mean something.
But this one means the most.
He was wearing it the entire time he was at the scene.
Then why would it be found at the crime scene? The entire time at the scene, that means he would have walked away with it as well. The silk hat wouldn't still remain. It wouldn't be left at the scene of the crime. This is the only contradiction I can think of. Because the only one we can go up. There's no doubt in my mind there was no white roses. We're good on that. We don't need to press that. However, all of the other symbols were there. I'm equally sure of that. Perfectly fine with us, so we can agree with that. Especially the silk hat. He's bringing focus to the hat at this point. He's bringing focus to the hat. And I feel like they wouldn't give us the hat as evidence if that's, you know.
you know. This wouldn't happen to be the silk hat you saw that night, would it?
Yeah, that's it. That's the hat he was wearing that night.
No question in your mind, right?
Exactly how would one mistake a thing like that?
I see.
Is there some sort of problem here, Mr. Wright?
Miss Von Karma, where exactly was this silk hat found?
Must you always ask these questions? It was found at the crime scene. The crime scene? But that means...
That silk hat fell off at the crime scene. However, the witness clearly testified to the contrary. The witness stated he was wearing it the entire time that he was on the scene.
No, that's not true.
Order! 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 Mr. Curls.
Yes, Your Honor.
What is the meaning of all of this? You are old enough to know better than to behave like this in court.
Hey, that's not right. That's so harsh.
What's not right here is your eyesight and your memory, amongst other things.
Why are you being so mean to me? What did I do? Let me guess, you just didn't like my jokes or something. You didn't have to go and insult my eyesight or my memory. They're both great. Seriously, why are you picking on me? And no matter how old I get, I'll always be younger than you. Why?
Enough of these childish outbursts, Mr. Curls. Who do you think you are?
I saw him, I swear I saw him. It was Max. Even if he didn't have his roses, he was still wearing his dumb silk hat. I'm telling the truth.
He's turned into a bratty little kid. It's pitiful, isn't it?
He left the scene wearing that dumb silk hat. He was there.
He left the scene? What's the matter, Nick? There's something I've been mulling over for a while now. Mo?
What do you want?
You just said that he left the scene. Exactly how did the murderer leave the scene of the crime?
What? He went... What do you mean, how did he leave the scene? Can't ask me that.
Mr. Phoenix Wright is badgering witness, Your Honor.
This witness's testimony is so full of holes. Miss Von Karma's protest is useless.
You've got a point. Let's hear what the witness has to say on this matter. Is that all right with you, little guy?
Don't talk to me like I'm a little baby. Besides, what kind of stupid question is how did he leave the scene of the crime? The answer's obvious. He just turned around and walked away.
And that's what I expected you to say. How are you sure? You're sure that's how it happened?
Huh? I'm not sure I know exactly where you're going with this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Lawyers nowadays sure do love to harp on the smallest things. Do you have any proof to counter his story as to how the criminal left the scene?
Look at this picture, Your Honor. Wait. Sorry. Okay, we're good. The problem is the footprints in the snow.
Footprints?
In this photo, we can clearly see the footprints of the victim. However, where are the criminal's footprints? They aren't there.
Ay, 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 ay!
So, Mo, exactly how did the criminal escape the scene? Your Honor, the witness has already proven that his testimony is completely unreliable. I move to strike all of this witness's testimonies from the court record.
I agree. This clown's testimony is as rickety as the clown car he came into court in.
Wait just 1 second. You can't ignore everything I said. Fine, I'll tell you the truth this time.
You wait a second. I think you've said more than enough for today.
That didn't hurt. I'm sick and tired of listening to you anyways. I'll give you the real deal this time, I swear.
I don't know.
I don't know why, but I get the feeling that things are gonna be getting worse before they get better.
Mr. Lawrence Curls. Yes? The testimony you provided up until now has been false?
It hasn't been false. I haven't lied. It's just
what?
It's just I was a bit confused on, a bit about the criminal leaving the scene. And especially since Von Karma and her whip told me not to talk about what I really saw.
I will have order in my courtroom. Franziska von Karma, how could you?
Well, again, not penalized. I've been penalized. She hasn't been penalized. This game's stupid.
You heard truth from this witness. You would have exactly same opinion as I have.
What opinion is that?
It is not funny.
That's enough out of you. I'm gonna listen to what he has to say. Now then, let's hear this truth about what you say you saw.
You're not gonna believe this, but it's all true, I'll tell ya.
Try not to waste our time with your idiotic drivel.
Oh, we got custom clown music? Cool. Okay.
Now it's time for our next segment, Mo Knows. Everything that I said up until now has been the truth. When I looked out the window, the ringmaster was down and Max was standing above him. He wasn't wearing his white roses, but he was wearing his silk hat. And that's when I saw The truth is, get ready for it. He jumped and he flew through the air. He flew right off and disappeared into the darkness. That's why there are no footprints. Flying people don't leave footprints.
I told you it wasn't funny. Do you believe me now?
Well, that was, how do you put this into words?
Maximilian Galactica is world-class magician. But to live sin of crime by flying? There's no way that actually happened.
You're right.
Why is she right? You believe the other witnesses, why don't you believe me? Especially since it's the best part of the story.
To be honest, this is the first time I've heard of a flying criminal. What do you think about this witness's testimony, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
What? It's obvious that the witness's eyes are playing tricks on him.
Don't be such a fool! Who in the world do you think I would mistake that jerk for?
Jeez. I didn't say you were lying. Wow, he looks really serious right now. More serious than he looked all day.
You know what? The funny part is, I actually kind of believe him that the victim did, or the defendant flew off. But I mean, if I can get him out of court, trial prolonged, right?
I suppose I'll let you all in on my thinking regarding this matter. The criminal disappeared into the sky. I'd love to believe that, but I just can't wrap my head around how that could actually happen.
You imbecile!
If you disregard a need for proof, Miss Von Karma's case is sound. However, I've got a feeling that this case is in dire need of more investigation. Thus, I will conclude today's proceedings at this point. It is an undisputable fact that the criminal left no footprints at the scene. Tomorrow, I want us to find out the reason behind the mystery of mysteries. I believe that's enough for today. Court is now in recess. Court adjourned.
We got past first day of court, it looks like, guys. Be nice. Be nice.
Hey, sweeties. What in the world is going on? That's what I want to know. They say the criminal flew off into the air and disappeared? Max, I can't believe I'm asking this, but you didn't fly that night, did you? I know you didn't mean to ask me such a fabulously stupid question. I can't fly whenever I please. It's not that easy. But it looks so effortless for you on stage. It's not that simple. Why, I'm not actually flying on stage. I use invisible wires and have them hoist me through the air. Wow. You just told me the secret of your magic? No! I broke the first rule, the cardinal rule, the only rule! I'm sorry, Max. I'm sorry you had to break a magician's creed to keep the magic trick secret. Nick, what do we do now? All we can do is hope we find the flying criminal in court tomorrow. Great idea. Let's do our best and catch this sucker.